Today we're making habanero ketchup. We're gonna make it right here. Here are our tomatoes. Let's get right into it. Got more tomatoes even right here. We're going to use plum tomatoes. However, I ideally would use cherry tomatoes. And the quality of the tomato is going to dictate the quality of your sauce. So you definitely want to use good quality tomatoes for sure. So these are plum, but like I said, cherry are my favorite. Then we've got some spices over here. And let's get into it. I'm already prepared. I've got my habanero de-seeded. So all I did was I took a knife around the outside like a jack-o'-lantern and pulled the seeds out. And actually, here's the seeds. And you can save these and grow habanero. But you don't want them in there unless you're a spice freak, because the seeds are much spicier than just this. But just this is sweet and spicy, flavorful, quite amazing. One of my favorite flavors. All right, so first I'm going to blend the tomatoes. I've got about 2 pounds. I didn't weigh them, but I picked out about 10 of these. So this should be 10. And if you're using cherry tomatoes, you can use 2 packages or 2 pounds. If you can even find cherry tomatoes anymore. The hotter the better, said Carla. You want to sweat? Okay, well then you can put 2 habaneros in there, or just 1 with the seeds in it would be plenty. But I'm going to put this right in here, and I'm going to blend these. It's going to be loud for a second. All right. I'm just going to squirt some agave in there because I'm going to add some anyway. I was going to add some later, but instead of adding water and then having it have to cook down forever, I'm going to add about 1/4 of a cup of agave so that hopefully this will be liquid enough to blend. Okay, whew, loud and obnoxious. All right, now that that's out of the way, so let's just go ahead and transfer this over into our pot. And it's all the way to the top. That was like 10. You can blend 1/2 of an onion or 1/4 of an onion in with that to make more of a barbecue sauce. I'll give you some little tips like that as we go, because the barbecue sauce that I make is awesome. I need to just get something to stir this with. It's definitely hot now. So I'm just gonna gently cook this down while I season it. Most of the seasonings will not be measured, but I will measure the tamarind puree because that might be hard for you to just guess. But we're going to put in a little bit of clove. And it's important to not overdo the clove, or you're going to be having clove sauce. So you just want a pinch, and actually 1/2 a pinch. So this is how I do it. This is my technique. I'll try to wrap my hands around the camera. Just give it a little tap. See, so I'm just going to tap it until it's at the edge. See that? It is just enough to visibly appear, and that's it. Smells good. It's starting to smell very, very tomatoey in here. Now I'm going to have the sea salt. So we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon at a time. This is probably going to take a couple tablespoons of salt. Yeah, so I'm going to start with more than this, trying to do it on camera. So there's about a teaspoon. Okay, we're going to put a little bit more spice. We're going to add some ground ginger. And I debated adding fresh ginger, but I think ground is a little better for this type of ketchup-y flavor. So I'm going to put a little bit more than I put clove. That was probably a big pinch. So I'm going to add the tamarind puree. I mean, this is basically to replace vinegar. Because if you know what's in ketchup, it's basically tomato paste, corn syrup, vinegar, and chemicals. Obviously, ours is going to be way better than whatever is available in the store. You know, and this much alkaline ketchup would probably cost $100 somewhere. You know, this is just something that you have to make yourself unless I start bottling it, which is very unlikely. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of tamarind, which is a lot. And it says robust flavor, that's for sure. This is going to change the color, but oh well. It's going to be sour. Don't want to waste any of that, that's for sure. This is starting to look more like barbecue sauce, but oh well. It smells really good. I know that the ketchup will be amazing because I've made it several times. It's been a while since I made it though. All right, I'm gonna try this and see how we're going. Woo! Woohoo! Habaneros in the building. Mmm. All right, it's heading in the right direction. Actually, I think we pretty much nailed it. All we're gonna have to do is sweeten it until it's almost as sweet as the agave itself and thicken it, and then we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna measure just for the sake of my viewers, but normally I would not measure. Normally I would just go for it and taste it. And I recommend that you learn how to cook by your taste because, you know, sometimes different ingredients weigh different amounts. For example, you know, sometimes some tomatoes will be more ripe or some ingredient will be more thick. So I'm going to do it a 1/4 cup at a time. This might be all that it needs because I already put a 1/4 of a cup at the beginning, but we'll see. All right. I want to do large events where for charity or for, you know, people can pay if they want. If they have money, they should. I think that's fair anyway. But if they don't, I would like to make my food available for people who are sick, especially. I mean, that's really what my cooking is for. It's for chronic disease. I mean, that's the reason I changed my whole life around to cook this way. I definitely didn't do it for convenience, that's for sure. Okay, so there was a 1/4 cup of agave. Let's see if that was sweet enough. What do you think? All right, that's pretty good. Spicy. All right, this is tasting really good. It is tasting a little barbecue-y. I think it could pass as barbecue or ketchup. What I would do to seal the deal as the barbecue is the salt. I would add smoked sea salt. All right, this is tasting really, really good. Wow. Wow, I'm very happy with it so far. It might be able to go a little sweeter, but honestly, some people I think would like it as is. So I hope this is ready in time. I'll measure it just for you. This is a tablespoon. 1 tablespoon might be enough. A little bit more salt. That might have been the finishing touches. So if you get impatient, you can strain out the liquid, but I think just a little bit more thickened it'll cook down. Another tablespoon of agave. That last time I measured the squirt. Wow, there we go. That is sweet now. All right, I think that's good. I think we just gotta let this thicken up. We've got one final ingredient that we're gonna add when it's a little bit more thick. That will be the finishing touch. It's this right here. What do you think it is? And if you didn't, if you weren't tuned in before, I'm gonna use this ketchup to make some vegan and alkaline meatloaf. And it's gonna be quite amazing because I've already tasted it and it tastes great. What other kind of recipes would you like to see? Comment below. Wow! This is awesome if I do say so myself. As soon as it gets a little bit thicker, I'm gonna be drinking it. No, you could drink it. It's healthy. It's a little bit spicy though. It's thickening up a little, as you can see the bubbles forming, a little bit glossy, and there's a layer of liquid on top. We want that layer off. We want that, there's a thin liquid layer now. We want that all to cook off so that we can just get a nice and thick, I mean, it's almost like jam if you think about it. It's almost like tomato jam. I don't know the origin of the word ketchup, but I know that you can spell it. So there's this really liquidy layer on top that needs to cook off, and it will leave the nice and thick, spicy tomato paste, sweetened tomato paste. And it also is a little bit sour from the tamarind. Yeah, it's getting nice and thick at the bottom. Got to make sure it doesn't burn though. The problem is when you keep stirring it, now it's going to send hot molten bubbles all over and dirty the stove instantly. But that's the price you pay. If I had an industrial stove that's all stainless steel, it would be nice in the future. And wow, I think I'm gonna have to turn this off soon. Ow, ow! It's flaming liquid magma on me. Okay. So just turned it off. Let's see how thick it is. It might thicken a little bit as it cools down. I'm gonna use a half a cup of this in the meatloaf recipe that I make, and then I'm gonna put some on top of it as well. If it's not thickened up in the fridge when it cools, or just when it's sitting out, then you could just cook it down a little bit more. But I've been live for over an hour, so I think that's good enough. And I'm gonna taste it. Wow, it's amazing. Yeah, this turned out good. I'm excited to dip some stuff in it and to make meatloaf out of it. All right, all that cooking, and all I have is sauce. So we're gonna use this to make the next recipe. I'll see you in the group for everyone that joined. I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy your ketchup. Let me know what you have the ketchup on. Look, there's splatters all over the place. Oh well, it was well worth it. This is gonna last a few weeks probably, but definitely since it's all natural ingredients, it won't keep forever. However, there are some preservatives in it, such as salt, tamarind, and spices that will preserve it for a little while. But keep in mind that when you make your own healthy food out of fresh ingredients, it won't last forever like the artificial food at the store that has been made with artificial chemicals. So this will last for probably 3 weeks, but definitely if it's good, it will be gone before then. So thank you so much for all the support. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you then. Peace. And if you want to completely go alkaline, I have a transformation program. There's a link in the description to get a hold of me, and I can have a free consultation call with you. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing day. on purpose. Peace.